what's up, you guys? It's Josh here again, and in this video I got a lot of cool stuff to show you guys. I'm pretty excited about the KAT build, and also I'm going to be showing you guys how to do something. If you guys are read the title, you probably already know, but yeah, so let's get into it. So over here I got all my stuff back from the machine shop, and I'd like to show you guys it. You guys haven't got to see it up close in person, or like just up close basically, so I'll start over here. So what we got over here is, let's see, get the light, my room's pretty dark. Got manly rods, I got my piston rings right here, I got, let's see here, got my pistons right here. And those aren't the rings I'm going to be using. I got to take those rings off. I got Wiseco pistons, and I also got to clean the bottom of the pistons off. Still have a lot of carbonation from since we took the motor apart. So I want to clean all that carbon off, make sure the pistons are nice and clean when I put the motor back together. So I got the pistons right there. Got the rods, pistons. Got my crank, which is all wrapped up, saran wrapped, and I'm not going to unwrap it until I'm ready to put the crank in and actually build the motor, which is very, very soon. But I didn't have crank really machined, I just had it polished, so I didn't take any like metal off of it or anything like that, and it's also been balanced. Got my flywheel over here, as you see, flywheel, crank, all wrapped up. Got my head, which is also resurfaced, if I can show you guys that. It really sucks not having light in my room, but got my head resurfaced. And then for the big beauty over here, I had my block totally decked, bored, and honed. So block's looking pretty fresh. So yeah, but basically, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to grind your piston rings to make it the right size when you put it inside the bore. Since I had mine rebored, my block rebored, when you get the piston rings, they're actually oversized, and you have to grind off the edges of the piston rings so that when the engine heats up and the rings expand, that when they butt together, they don't butt together too much and basically just like pop your piston like right in half or crack anything. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So for that, you need your instructions to actually know what size to gap your piston rings to. You're going to need your piston rings, you're going to need feeler gauges, you're also going to need your piston ring filer, which you can find this at summitracing.com like I found mine, and you're going to need your block. And if you have your pistons laying around, you can actually make use of them in the process of actually grinding your piston rings, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. Alright, you guys, so to get started, Wiseco, with all their piston rings that they give out, like when I ordered my pistons the first time, they sent this this instructional sheet, and the second time that I ordered the piston rings from Wiseco, they also send them with the piston rings. So every time you get a package of piston rings like these, you basically get a sheet, an instructional sheet that tells you what to do. So I got 4 of these because it comes with like 1 for each pack. So basically you just go off whatever the sheet says. So basically we're filing the gaps of the piston rings like it says right here. See how it says like good and bad and whatnot, and basically these are instructions on how to do it. And then when you flip the sheet over, down here it tells you like for whatever application you're going to be using the piston rings to, it tells you like the gap that you need to use for the piston ring. Like for the top ring and the second ring, those are the only ones you got to file. You don't have to file the oil scraper ring. So basically I'm going to be doing street, moderate, boost, like it says like street, moderate, turbo / nitros. So I'm going to be doing turbo, so I'm gonna probably go with that line, which right there it's 0.0050, or that's like 5 thousandths. So, and then the second ring is 55 thousandths. So that's why I got gap the rings too. Basically how you do that is take your ring, this is my top ring, and this is the grinder right here. This is what grinds the gap. You basically take the ring and you put it right here, just like this. And when you do it, you want to put one side of the ring up at a time. You don't want to squeeze them together like this. Well, actually, I don't think you're supposed to do that. But the way I've seen it done before is like this. So they'll take the ring and they'll push it up against these two little rods, these little posts that stick out, and you're supposed to basically just wind the freaking grinder and it'll grind off the ring. And you don't want to just go at it like full speed and just grind a crap ton off, because you might not need to take a lot off. So basically what I suggest doing is taking your ring and then going to your block, which is over here. My block's over here. And what you'll do is you'll take the ring and you'll set it inside the bore of the block, and you'll take your feeler gauge. Here, let me try and show you guys. Alright you guys, so I got something rigged up right here. So you put the ring inside the bore like this. See how the ring's all the way up inside the bore right here? What I did was I put the ring in there, and this is how you can use your piston. You basically just drop your piston on top of the ring, and I have some rings right here to stop the piston, but basically you drop the piston in there and it'll press the ring down to where it goes down evenly. And then what you want to do is you want to take your feeler gauges and you basically want to test the gap. So you just take the feeler gauge right here and then you go inside the gap of wherever the piston ring is, and whatever size the feeler gauge comes out to, that's the size gap you have going on right now. So basically I need to go down to a 5/1000 of an inch for the top ring, which that is a top ring, and then it should be good after I get done grinding it. And you want to make sure that you don't over grind it, because if you over grind it and you go over 5/1000 or whatever you're grinding it to, you'll actually have a bigger gap and then you lose compression that way. So I suggest taking your time and going slow and just do little increments at a time. And yes, it's going to take forever. It'll feel like it's taking forever at least until you get it all finished, but trust me, you're going to want to take your time and do it right. And then also on the front, good, bad, you want, when you do the grinding on a piston ring, you want to make sure that both sides are parallel to each other. You don't want them like inverted like this to where it's grinded good on the outside, but then it might be too close on the inside. And then, like I said earlier, when the piston ring like heats up and stuff, it can end up butting together and probably popping the top off your piston. So yeah, I'm about to start grinding these piston rings down until they get to the right gap size, and I'll get back to you guys later. Alright you guys, so once you get finished with your piston rings and you got them gapped out to the right size, then you basically just got to put your piston right here and your rod together and then throw your rings on there. And that should be in the next video, me building the pistons and the rods and putting the rings on there, and I might get into building the bottom end. So yeah, so please do like and subscribe if you like this video, and I guess I'll see you on the next video, you guys. Later.